First boy was JD. We were together for approximately 2 years before he went home on parole. During those 2 years, we developed great feelings for one another. You know, he was like my shadow. Every way you seen me, you seen him. Um, we were best friends. It wasn't the relationship wasn't based on sex. You know, me fucking him in his ass. It was more than that. I cared deeply about him. I woke up. First thing I wanted to see was him. Before I went to bed at night, the last thing I wanted to see was him. I was in love with him.
The game is in the penitentiary a set of rules dealing with homosexual activity. You know, you got what you call boys and sissies. Then you got your man. Uh, so, you know, I was looked at to be turned out, you know, what they call fresh meat. I ended up going to down to a room to smoke a joint. We was on the Sun game, 16 dorm at that time. And we ended up doing some other things. And that's what brought me in. Once you start something in here, you don't change it. They don't too easily let you do that. Once you're one way, you're always that way.
Clean up, oh God. Spirit in me.
Alabama spends the lowest amount of money feeding inmates than any other state in the Southeast. Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia. They spend 73 cents to feed people here. Now, 73 cents, you're not going to get a good, nutritious meal out of 73 cents. I don't care where you stand. This is a world within a world. You got everything under the sun here. You got homosexuality, run rampant. You've got gambling, you got gangs, you got everything. You know. Josephine.
JG, my righteous dog. He's like the older brother that I never had. I got unconditional love for him, not just because we both bloods, but because he's always been real to me. You know, we've had our ups and downs and differences and problems, but we love one another. Seriously.
We was real close. Like I said, we was close. We used to talk. We used to share our problems. You know what I'm saying? We used to share boys and mainly he looked up to me. You know what I'm saying? To me, I was like his role model, the person he wanted to be like. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I done, he wanted to do, like my little brother. I don't want to know how much I got in my pants. They make a kill misdemeanor. I really it's like he living in my bank account, steadily rising. Ain't no more public highs. Nigga, my rent outside. I'm around that mile before I blow up my lip. Before I keep it 9 on my hip with 2 extra clips. You can't live.
The hustling part is because people don't have any money. And, you know, there's no way to make money. This is how the game works. I ain't got no means of money. I got a box full of candy back there. Cookies, zoos, and wham-whams is what they call it. I'm going to loan it to another inmate. I'll let you get a pack of cookies for 2 packs back next week. If a man borrows too much stuff, it gets too far in debt, either you fight for it and let him know I'm not going to pay you, so me and you just going to have to whoop each other's ass and we're going to go to lockup, or we're going to go back here and fuck, just ever how you want to do it. That's the way it works. He might have borrowed 10 suits and ended up fucking out his ass the rest of his life while he's here on account of 10 suits. Got him that way. Because 10 suits, if you can't pay it this week, it's going to cost you 20 suits next week. And the week after that, it's going to be 40 suits. So sooner or later, the man's going to step to you and tell you, hey, I'm tired of your shit.
Where you take a boy like me? Come from now.
I basically met Lamar Moore in 1996 or 97, one at Staten, and we were business partners. Okay, when I left and he left, we met up again here at Limestone in 2000. Okay, and it was the same scenario.
Hips went to the street and come back to prison. When he got to the camp, he owed out like $300-400 worth of shit. When he first got there, from before when he was in prison.
Mark had a boy, David Mendenhall.
I met Mark on the chain gang. I would say it was in 98.
Mindy, he was my baby. He came to me. Mindy came to me and requested to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Which was rather strange because this is like the first guy that ever pulled up on me and said, hey, man, can I be with you? So it was rather shocking.
Here at Limestone, you don't have the guys waiting at the back gate on you. About the only way you can get turned out is you fall for the game.
I turned Adi out. Adi was fresh in prison. Had been chased by half of the camp. And he ran from him. And I don't know, he just... Basically, he said he wanted someone to be real with him, someone to give him attention and affection. And he seen how I treated Mindy and my other boys, and he just wanted to get in, so he did.
They started, giving me things I like, anything I wanted I could get.
Well, I had never been through it before. I had never turned a boy out or had a boy or anything. And that wasn't my objective. I was just supposed to pull him away from the other people he was kicking it with and to kick it with us.
When my folks quit looking out for me, I felt betrayed. I was at my lowest self-esteem. So I had to find a way to pick me back up and make me happy, make the best out of a bad situation. And Mark and Mendenhall, they did that.
Where you from, man? Over here. I get out tomorrow, right? Tomorrow? Yeah. All right. Okay.
David Mendenhall, he worked on radios. He had to fix my radio and everything. We got to talking, eating together, drinking together. We'd do a little drugs together.
I spent some time with him as far as kicking it. We might play cards together. All of us would. We'd get together and do it.
I run tattoos, run a store, and hustled. All right. So me and Mark started running the store again together, hustling, trying to make more money and more money and more money and more money. And before you know it, I ended up with 2 boys, and he ended up with 2 boys, and we called it a family.
Right. And that's the way we looked at it. We had a family.
I don't like this no more than you.
For me, my boys.
Don't you know it?
We build from the beginning, the bond of trust. I would let them go out and walk around by themselves, but I knew other guys wanted to be with them. And I know they would give them things, for free because they was trying to pull them away from me. So it benefited me, in that aspect because, I could let them go out and hang out or go and laugh at someone's face or, flirt a little bit. And come back with some food or come back with some cigarettes or come back with some coffee. And so it usually starts with one of my boys. I see a boy that I like and I tell him, hey, I like that person. You need to start spending some time with him, start talking to him or whatever. And they wind up building a relationship.
The motive of the game is it's not all to have you sexually, not for real. Because they know, say in my case, I'm a young dude, I look good, everybody wants me in the camp. They know if they could get me and they could invest a little bit, way the game goes, I owe them then. It happens all the time. They could pimp me out, and make, triple, make more money like that than what they've invested. That's how the game goes in here.